All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I just pull it up on YouTube so I make sure it looks okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, it just definitely been a busy month, a busy year, a busy week. Okay. We up, we active. Well, happy Mother's Day, everybody. Since this is also a recording for anybody that's going to watch back. Happy Mother's Day, happy Sunday, happy May. We are in second quarter, almost completely through the halfway of the year. And I did not think this year would go this fast. I did not think this year would be this crazy. But here we are. You know what I mean? So thank you for everybody that is here today, or if you're watching this later. Yeah, Mo, how are you doing today?
Girl, I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm all kind of things. Listen, happy Mother's Day to the mothers, to all the
All
types
the
of
big mamas.
um um I got a little cereal, so we're going, together. And but you know, I'm good. I'm good. I feel like things are coming together, even though they're not getting less busy, but that's okay. At least knowing that things are being taken care of is a stress taken off. Um, so I'm good. I'm good.
I love that. And you're right. Like things feel busy and stressful, but there are some as long as things are progressive, it does make it a little bit easier to go through and navigate because same thing like since I even we're here about content, right? And again, this is our YouTube grow room. We do it every Sunday between both of our channels. This week it's on mine, so please sub to both of us if you are watching this at any point. And next week we will be on Mo's channel until we feel like playing for StreamYard, and we don't feel like doing it right now. So, so with that being said, yeah, I just feel like since we've been doing content, it's just been like very, very busy, and it really just eats up all your free time because there's always something to do. Whether you're supporting others, whether you're engaging back, whether you're filming, whether you're brainstorming for ideas, whether you're editing, there's always something to do, and then your personal life, and then your job, and then your family, and whatever hat you wear in your life, right? Because most of us are wearing multiple hats, supporting multiple people in many different ways. So you do have to come to that end of how does that make you look, and why do I look really white? The sun is just gleaming through this window, and I just keep getting whiter, like I'm disappearing into this white that you can't see any details of my face.
You get when you go on vacation,
All
vacation and come back, you'll be good to go.
right, I know, right? I'm so excited, and I got my I'm prepared this time. I'm prepared this time. Okay, I got my case skin this time. So, but yeah, it's really been busy, but what's crazy is I've been thinking lately since starting this, and once you kind of, and I'm not saying my foundation's all the way built. It's definitely not. I am in a learning space. I am in student mode while being in creator mode to build whatever I'm trying to build at this point. Because I'm just going with the flow, enjoying the vibe, and trying to get a couple dollars in the process, right? So that's why we're here today. And when you're starting out, it's overwhelming because you're starting from scratch and you're trying to build those communities, and some of that stuff is ongoing. But when you're trying to first start out, it is a lot. But I feel like 5 months in, I'm able to breathe just a little bit more because I have established great friendships and great engagement and meeting amazing people on all these platforms. But it's kind of finding that balance of as you continue to grow, whatever that looks like for you, because whatever your goal, everybody goals are different and everybody produces content differently.
Mhm.
You have to find that balance so you're not feeling overwhelmed. And so you can continue to have that consistency in your content, consistency in your schedule, consistency, with your peace, because you don't want to be stressed out and burn yourself out. So, 1000% Mo. Hi, babe. Thank you for coming in.
Hey, focus.
Um, go ahead, Mo.
No, I said, hey, focus. Welcome
Yes.
in the room.
So YouTube goals. I know again we're here when we talk about social media. As we continue to have these, we will talk about social media. And because this is on YouTube and we're trying to have a YouTube grow room so we can get monetized on here, we will also be talking about other social media platforms. Because in reality, you're not, even with YouTube, if you get monetized or whatever the case may be, you're still going to be on IG or TikTok or favorited or fan based or whatever you like to hang out at, because different apps have different things. I love a lot of the apps. I just don't have time to be on all of them all day. I really, really don't. But with that being said, is be in regards to content, be cautious because again, repurpose your content. We talked about that a couple times already. So despite if you are managing multiple, my main three are IG, TikTok, and here. I do have favorited and fan base and a couple of those other ones. But I'm just not. I just don't have too much time for them right now. But
Right.
again, repurpose your content. When I every time I post, every time I create my content, like and even on days I'm posting back to back to back, I will film that content, and then the minute I post, I will literally post on all platforms that intended to post on. So once I'm done with that, I am done with that. Okay, I could just move on to the next task, move on with my day, move on with my errands, and so on. And then you see what works on what platform. This platform, this works a little bit better. This platform, it does it. I don't care if it works or not. I'm posting it because I want to, and it's
Right.
already posted and it's already together and it's already edited and it's already exported. So why not? You know what I mean? And just because you post it on YouTube, that don't mean those IG people know it. Even if it's old, we have a beautiful friend named C, and she's been very active on her social media lately, and her content has been fire, and all of it's like old footage. So use that old footage. Sometimes you can even repost an old video that did good and repost it
Yeah.
6, 8 months, a year later, and just to see what it does, especially for those the digital marketing crowd. Those you
Or
guys could
didn't do it.
repurpose a lot of your content. Well, a lot of worlds. But I'm just trying to kind of give an example of like kind of who we can drag in, because again, this is a space for everybody. I don't care what you do. You could paint, you could draw, you could skate, you could do a cartwheel, you could just live in a nice place, you could live in a crazy place. I don't care. There is a way that you can win on here and get monetized. You just kind of have to figure out what that means for you. But in that
Yeah.
means post. That does mean post though, and post
Yeah.
everywhere. Shit, anything you got, post it.
Yeah. Oh, you were saying a old video that did good or even didn't do good, because
Yeah,
sometimes a lot of people they think, oh, my video didn't do good, I need to take it down. No, you can leave it there and see if it makes moves in the next month, year, couple years, couple months, whatever. Or you can repost it later, because sometimes it's just the time and how the algorithm changes. And once you push it up to a more recent date, you'll start seeing like, oh, I see this person, they posted this same exact video and it went a little bit viral, but it must not have went the way they wanted it. And then they reposted it later and it went super viral. And it's
right.
two the same video on their page. You see that all the time. A lot of time, the people who go viral repost their videos more than two times on their page until that viral video goes crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I think that it's okay to repost your stuff. Um, and we talked about don't try to sensationalize, but just if you know it's really good content or you feel it's really good content, maybe the people who were following you at the time weren't the people for that, but maybe there's more people, different people following you now, and they will start spreading it out. Because it's just, when your video goes viral, it's not because the algorithm just opened up. It's because I saw your video and thought it was funny, right? Say it's a funny video, right? I saw your video and saw the humor in that, and then I sent it to Yella, and Yella seen the humor in that, and then Yella sent it to 4 or 5 other friends in her DM, and they seen the humor in that, and then they sent it to 10 of their friends, and they seen the humor. That's a viral. That's how we get all those views. It's not because somebody's scrolling on their feed, and all these people are just seeing your video all the time. It's because people are sharing it
Right.
and reposting it and saving it, because later on they want to redo it, or they want to put their own spin on your video. It's because of those things. So you can repost your video, because I mean, if you posted it 2 years ago, it's not going to show up on nobody's feed. So repost it. You know, repost it again, especially if you feel like it's good quality. You know what I'm saying? If the people just missed it that time, that's on them. You repost it and then help them get it. You know, help them get it.
And I think it's the timing as well. Just sometimes I try to, especially in the beginning, I am very much in a trial and error mindset. So a lot of these things, once I was able to transition to that mindset, a lot of these things became easier because that uncomfortableness was gone, the overthinking was gone, the I needs to be perfect is gone, and just post. The mistakes you see, most people don't even know that mistake even happened. Even watching the same video you watch, they are like, "Oh, this is great," or just whatever. They scroll past it. I probably scroll past a lot of stuff that is great content just because, or I'm in the midst of watching a content piece, and then my husband asked me a question. There's a lot going on, so don't take it super personal, okay? Just be happy. I was just thinking last night. I was like, "Dang, I'm like very proud of myself and I'm happy in the space that I'm in. You got to enjoy the journey. Everything isn't going to be skyrocket straight up to a jackpot, whatever metaphor you want to use, right?" And I was just like, when I first started doing this in January, my videos naturally on YouTube, because I started in January and I only had 12. I had about 50 followers within the first week of January. I had 12 followers on Christmas. So around 50 followers. And so January, as I was posting, my videos were only getting about 111 views and maybe one or two likes, and that was probably me, my husband, and maybe somebody else that really really loved me. And I'm like, okay, cool, like and mind you, I'm a YouTube person. I love you. I love watching YouTube as a consumer. So I even that motivated me to be better to like stuff because a lot of people are watching, but they may not like it or comment or subscribe.
Mhm.
And I think that's naturally a lot of us. So because I am trying to get that myself, I want to put back into the world. So I'm trying to do better at when I actually do like somebody content, I do subscribe. Most their content is not going to take over your page. You're not going to watch their content every day, see it every day. So for people to feel like, well, I don't, it may not be my thing, so I don't want to see that kind of stuff pop up all the time. Realistically, they're not. What's going to pop up all the time is what you watch all the time. So me
Mhm.
watching realistically one or more videos is not going to have my whole YouTube algorithm mo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I say that because I think some people do get scared off of following people because it's like, well, they're doing something different, and then I don't want my timeline filled up with that. And most people aren't even posting to that consistency.
Yeah.
So, it just you just have to post. You really just have to post. So now my videos may get, on an average about a hundred views, a regular video, long form, and now maybe 5 or 7 likes. And that doesn't seem like a lot more, but it really is when you think about the content world. 11 people decided to stop and like my video after they watched it, however long they wanted to watch it, and then my video at least was touched. That's why when you look at your analytics, it may say impressions or something. These different words mean different things. It doesn't mean somebody fully was watching your video the whole time, but there was some kind of interaction there. And any interaction, for the most part, is good interaction, right? So, yeah, be mindful of that.
Yeah. I think that also, did you send me this? Did you send me this meme or post where it said people be mad if they only get 20 likes, but imagine if you was getting jumped by 20 people. Some
Oh,
I seen it on I seen it on IG. I was
yeah, but I like that metaphor.
to my DM. I couldn't remember who. But imagine. That's enough people. There's 20 people who liked your video that probably 18 of them you don't know because you might be one and your best friend might be the other. And then 18 of them you don't know. Imagine get jumped by 18 people. I mean, you wouldn't like it. So that's a lot of people then, right? It's a little
Or just even flip it on the positive side. If 20 people walked up to you in a line and gave you one rose each, and then by that end
right.
you have 20 roses, you're just going to be like, oh my God, I am overwhelmed with support. So, and we understand that online support and in-person support are two different things, but support, again, can come in many different fashions. So just be mindful of that. Just be
It's really
mindful of
not
that.
different because you're worried you what you want, not about you worried about your focus is gonna be on who sees it or who uh and less about who interacts with it unless it's a think piece or something, but who sees it. And it really isn't different than if somebody in real life sees it, or you know what I'm saying, like it is just as good. You're doing fine is basically the point. Is you're doing fine if you have 20 likes, if you have 4 likes, still a lot of people at one time saying they like the same thing. It's still, I'm still, like the post said, if you was getting jumped by 4 people, that would be 4 people too many. Okay, it'd be
Yeah,
a lot. Okay,
exactly.
but yeah, like if 4 people gave you a flower randomly, you would also be equally as overwhelmed,
Yeah.
so, or happy about, or whatever it is. You would know that, oh wow, like I'm being seen. Imagine walking on a block and just 4 random people gave you a flower that day. You that would be you wouldn't even be able to sleep that night. You'd be like, oh my God, today was the best day of my life.
No,
I was
honestly.
walking on the street and 4 random people gave me a flower. What? Are
I
they following
was even, when
me?
you're
Like,
in your to
how
know
did
it.
they know?
No, exactly. I was even like, because one, I'm a very like, I'm not an entitled person. I'm very much like backseat. I don't know how to explain it, but like, who am I? That's kind of my question. Like, who am I? I'm not, and not that I think down on myself. Don't get me wrong, people. I think very highly of myself in a lot of areas.
Hmm.
And I'm very confident in a lot of areas, but I am human, so my self esteem may not be as high in other areas. But with that being said, is just again, I am human. I don't walk around like I'm special. I do know I have special parts about me, but I'm not like entitled. So with that being said, because I know we're on this journey to 1,000, because you do at least minimum 1,000 subs along with a couple other things, and then you can get monetized, and that's the goal here, right? Monetization at some point, and then maintaining that monetization after you get it, because there are programs where you can lose your privileges or your benefits with their program if you don't obtain them. But like Twitch, I can go back to Twitch right now and make some money. I don't want to go to Twitch. But some programs, if you don't have a consistent, you can get kicked out. And I think YouTube is one of them. Mo mentioned where it's just
So
basically keep doing the same thing every year. So this, I feel like this may be the minimum requirement every year. As long as you're getting the 3,000 watch hours here, whoop de whoop, then you should be okay.
yeah,
But
at
again,
least.
I was thinking, I was like, oh my God, like I have 650 something people following me. I'm almost to 1,000. And I was just very grateful. I don't know I don't know, like probably 2% of the people following me. And that's okay. But I am grateful and I'm happy they're following me. And if they're posting and if I could get to know them, I would love to get to know them so I could follow them and support them too. So it's really just admiring what is your relationship and what do you want out. What is your relationship with your progress and what do you want out of it, because it's how you view things that can help your journey. I know I could probably be way further. Some people went through this process way further, but that's their journey, that's not mine. I have a different life. I'm playing a different game. I have different goals. Different things make me smile, different things make me sad. So with that being said, while you're also going through this journey, please do not compare yourself. We can all do the same thing and get the different results because we are all different people with different backgrounds and different personalities and different beautiful things that we bring to the table. So with that, only focus on you during this journey, please. Don't see that
Yeah,
somebody else is moving faster, slower, whatever the case may be, because we all have different intentions here. My beautiful friend right here, she wants to do a women's convention, and I love that, and I am ready to support her with that. Do I want to do all that? Heck no. I barely want to plan these little links for my very minimal videos that I'm producing. Okay, so you think I want to, you know what I mean? So what works for you? What makes you happy? Some people love being super organized. Some people that stresses them out when they have to focus on that component of it. So again, as we are having these conversations and you hear tips and tricks and ideas and suggestions, do what works for you, do what makes you happy, do what fits your personality, do what fits your aesthetic, do what fits your niche, do just whatever you want to do, because I just feel like that has in the past pushed a lot of people and scared a lot of people to reaching their goals because they
yeah,
compared, or they're just like, my things aren't happening as fast as you want it to. And I don't really even agree with people like, I want to go viral. How do I go viral? Like, what is that? You don't control that. The people do.
Yeah.
And all viral things are good. A lot of viral stuff is negative, and I don't like that because it really continues to show that we will focus and promote negative much more quickly and heavier than we will something positive, like
Yeah.
the news, for an
And
example.
even
Always bad stuff on the news, 90% of the time. And then
yeah.
10% they'll add in like a puppy was born, a new penguin was born at the zoo, maybe a kid genius out of the million that are in the world. Maybe they want to show highlight one, but then they go right back to the negative stuff.
Yeah.
So I just want to, share, like, don't get caught up in that because we already got to fight ourselves sometimes up here. So then when you got the world, it's just not a comparison. I promise. On the outside, it's not. It's like when people be like, "Oh, I want to go to the gym, but people are gonna stare at me." I promise you, nobody is. When I'm running on that damn treadmill, I'm trying to think about not dying. You think I'm worried about looking at you?
And you know, these type of things are really about self development too. This is about developing your confidence and developing an understanding of your who you understand to be you, who you value, like how you value the you of you, right?
Right.
So if you go viral doing something, you have to be able to maintain doing that something over and over and over again. And what better way to what better thing than to go viral doing something that you love to share versus doing some silly something or whatever to get seen. Now you have to repeat that silly something or whatever to be viral over and over, because you can do the same video over and over and over again, and you every almost all of the videos will go viral
Right.
once you went viral once. But imagine doing that and you know being having to, hey Shanae, having to do that over and over and over to keep your status versus doing something that you really love to do, sharing with the world, whatever that thing is, and that message going through. Like there is a guy who and then there's different stages of viral. So I'm gonna say he goes viral with all his videos, but he gets a lot of views. I'm not gonna say he goes super viral, but he gets a lot of views. And he starts it off by saying, I want to get this off my chest, right? So he first did a video in his car. He said, I want to get this off my chest. And he said something, it was very poetic, like very much like he trying to find his woman, his wife. And the women love that, love to see a little brown man want to find a see a nice black man trying to find a wife, want a good thing, all of that, right? And so from now on, he makes a lot of videos. I just want to get this off my chest. But the thing about it is, that is who he is,
Right.
right? So him sharing those videos is an extension of who he is, and he loves to share those messages, because he apparently is really on that journey, and he really is like a lover boy. Like he really cares about that stuff. So I'm talking about. His name is Dimitri Riley. So I feel like going viral or getting popular because
Right.
of that is so much more rewarding than going viral or getting popular for, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? There's okay, because I know y'all see it too. Because we're talking about Instagram. I don't know if it's on TikTok because I'm not deep in the trenches of TikTok as far as like watching as I am in IG, because I've been on IG longer. But there's some other men who be on there, and they'll do these videos where they're supposedly showing you their outfit of the day. Sir, I seen that. And you
Right.
know what I've seen. Okay? So they'll start the video like that. They'll walk in and, okay, sir, that is fresh. Okay? So they'll go viral for that. So now every video they have to do is that.
So I think
You know what I'm saying?
that
So
this perfectly aligns back with an old school saying that we mostly grew up on. I think I just really just stuck to this. It's kind of like the "be careful what you ask for" metaphor, because it's very much true. Like, and that's kind of, the old saying, be careful how you get something, be careful what you ask for.
Mhm.
Because people, we really do, we ask for stuff and we get it, and then we really got exactly what we asked for because we weren't intentional with our words. And I'm not saying every time we speak, it got to be this deep, poetic, spiritual manifestation,
No,
worship, praise,
be yourself.
but be yourself because a couple examples, right? And this is not no hate to anybody, but well, there's a couple things, right? One, and with that guy, that's why people are like, oh, you have to have a niche. Well, I do think niches work, but I don't think you choose your niche. I think you're naturally who you are, and then the masses choose your niche. If
Yeah,
I always say something and the world notices that Yella always says this, y'all chose that niche for me. Whether I knew I was saying it, I say it on purpose, whatever. Y'all choose that niche for me. But
hmm
yeah. Sorry, my brain forgot where I was going with that.
Well, while you think, but yes, I'm gonna agree with you because that same guy, Dimitri Wiley, he does music, and I'm
Oh,
sure he wanted to be a singer, and he thought it would go that way. He's good at singing. He's good at rhyming. He's really good at poetry. I'm sure he thought it would go that way first, but it turned into let me get this off my chest videos, and
yeah,
now people know
simple.
his songs. People know what he's about, who he is as a person. People love him. Men and women. He has these different. He has podcasts. He has these different communities that he's built because of him being going viral, being him, saying stuff that
Right.
he really felt.
Okay, sorry, it just came back to mind. So, like you said, because he made this one video and people were inspired, or that drew people in, and then what he said after locked people in. That's why you
Mhm.
got to be careful. So, example, the Hawk Two. So, first of all, I don't be following some of these trends because I just don't care. And I also, Nipsey Hussle said something that was very powerful. Sorry, this is where the squirrel comes in at. But
Mhm.
if you stop entertaining clowns, they'll stop performing. And I
Mhm.
really, that's how I live my life. If I'm not watching, liking, sharing, commenting on those videos where they're running in Walmart to pour milk on themselves all over the place in front of people. I'm not engaging in that because I don't agree with that. I don't like it. I don't, you know what I mean? So again, it's also what you put out there and how you maintain it. So with that being said, say somebody, okay, this happens a lot. Not judging girlies, we love you, all of our sisters out there from all parts of the world. But if a girlie wants to start social media and she starts off very sexualized, right?
Mhm.
Boom, the numbers are up, the comments, all that. But the minute she was like, you know what, I'm not feeling this, whatever reason she wants to change, she wants to change now. Now she's
Mhm.
covering up. Now it's whatever else outside of the sexual aspect of it. No more boobies showing, no more bikinis, no more look at my hair, but it's a butt shot. None of that. You think her numbers are going to be the same?
Right.
No, no, you know what I mean? And
Right.
or even the people that want to start off the controversial people. I told Mo, there was something the other day that I saw that in like, and my husband's like, you should post it, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to post that because
Right.
one, that's just not kind of the kind of page I want to do. Even though I stand 1,000% on what I said, and not
Mhm.
you can't have your own beliefs because what I said was very valid. But
Mhm.
I want that to be my page? I don't
Right.
think so. Not to say that I still won't talk about it at some point, but to highlight that, and it was just a whole thing. Like
Yeah.
it probably could have turned into a whole situation. But I'm like, I don't want to enter that world. I don't want to enter controversy, debates, and then because I could argue, but then now I gotta go start doing citations, and I don't got time for all that. You know what I mean? Because especially Iris, if you're gonna do one of those controversial channels, you better know what you're talking about. You better be able to cite books, newsletters, articles, peer reviews, all that. Because the people are just doing all these debate channels
Yeah.
off of feelings and opinions, and I can't. You
Or,
got too many young
or
minds very easily influenced and programmed out here. There's already enough information going around.
yeah.
So yeah,
Or you got to be okay with now just taking on the ignorant side of saying what you feel like, and that's fine.
right,
And that's fine because y'all T be saying anything she
right.
feel like.
These
She be
days on
cussing.
the
I
internet,
like her
the
a
internet
lot.
is needed.
But
The
she
internet is needed.
she's there and she took it. She took it and she be winning with that. But because yeah, I feel like there are a lot of I'm very opinionated and I have very deep Uh, and the way my humor is, I could probably just the whole time just drag everything, and you look a mess, and because I'm a human, and some people be looking a mess. I'll be having something to say, okay,
Yeah.
thinking, having something to think.
Well, that's the other part. We're
But
all
I don't
human.
want
We're
to.
all
I
human.
don't want to,
That's
and
how.
I know that if I share messages like that, it's going to be funny to people because of the way the way I bring it, forward or whatever. And it might be a little popular or viral, whatever, but do I really feel like I want to do that for
Right.
the rest of my, that,
And
and
this
then
is also, you gotta think
how do I,
talking about.
how do I say I'm want to be inspirational and then I want to empower and then be able to, chop chop you down. Why would I want to do that? You know what I'm saying? Some things sometimes people need a little correction. They need a little straightening. But why let me let me do that one on one with them if they really want that from me, than to do it all on the internet and embarrass people or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So you do have to choose. Even if you're good at something, you have to choose who you, and that goes back to what I was saying from the beginning. You have to that you have to be confident in who you are. You have to want to know who you are before you start really putting out content that you know you're hoping to stick.
Because
You know,
if you get off on the content, whatever you get off on, because like I love celebrity drama channels. Don't get, I will run and break an ankle to go watch it. But do I want to do that? No, no. That's not part of, because you got to think when you start getting monetized, whatever at a certain point, right? And this, guys, most of us aren't going to be monetized till next year. So we are very future focused talking. Now, through the grace of God, it might be before the end of the year, but realistically, because I live in a real world, I try to. Most of us won't be monetized till next year, but that's why we're doing the work now because we want to be monetized next year. Okay, and we got to be able to, when you get monetized, it is going to take over more of your world because you want to get more coins, right? So you want the coins to be not only consistent, but you want those coins to grow. So with that being said, you know what I mean. You have to just. I'm sorry, my brain today, y'all. I am so tired. You so with that being said, if you want to get monetized, it's going to take over your schedule, and it got to be something you enjoy. Things are easier when you enjoy it. Things are easier when you care about it. Things are easier when you love it. So if you go in like, okay, let me just do this just so I can get to this point to then work on what I want to work on. But it doesn't work like that because then it's also your reputation. Like Mo, again, Mo is very positive, development, growing, healing, overcoming, resilience, right? And she wants to do a convention, and that's amazing. And I cannot wait till we see that in real life one day. But before that, if Mo was just out here, doing everything else but what she's talking about, but then she wants to do a convention, why would we believe Mo when she did everything but that? So it's kind of that. Just be careful how you get into this, and there's room. There's room. I'm 5 months in, and I'm changing a lot of things 5 months later because I'm like, hey, I've tried this. This didn't work. This is getting attention. This isn't. I saw somebody else do this. I want to try this. So you can always change your plan. You create the blueprint to that. But you got to learn trial and error and all that good stuff of what works for you. But yeah,
also do still. All right. So now here's the thing. So you started your social media and you tried a few things and they weren't one thing. They were a couple of things you were interested in, and that's cool. And then you found that there's something that you like the most out of all of those things. That's not you niching down and just picking one thing. That's just you doing something that you like the most and continuing to do that. So now you're doing that. That's because that's fine. Right. So now you're doing that. And then you see a trend, you see something going on and you see a trend. Don't say, "Oh, I'm not doing that because I just don't do those things." If you think it's fun, you
yeah,
can make a funny video. That's okay. And you know what? You're going to put your own personality in it, and then you're going to keep doing the videos that you love. Then you're going to keep doing the videos that you love. And maybe that very video, she was a fairy. Well, and that's gonna bring everybody to your video. Okay? That's
Period.
gonna bring everybody to the she was a fairy. It's gonna bring everybody to the other, day in a life videos that you do on your TT and your IG. And people are going to come. And you know what you're gonna do also in that video when you do she was a fairy. You're gonna wear an outfit, right? And because every week I like to give y'all ideas for your videos, right? So you're gonna wear the outfit, the cute little outfit, whatever outfit you want to do. In the also that day, you're gonna do a day in the life vlog, same outfit on, okay? That way, if she was a fairy, go a little popular, because everybody's watching trending, and people's gonna see you, and somebody's gonna like your outfit, and then they're gonna go to the next video, and they're gonna see that you do day in the life vlogs where you're showing your video, you're talking about the outfit. You are gonna incorporate whatever little extra fun, trendy videos you do into the stuff that you're already doing. In the day in a life video, you can even show the back behind the scenes of you making she was a fairy, so that they know that day in the life I made a she was a fairy, and then I put the she was a fairy video out, and it was fun, it was cute, and we moved on and we did the same things that we always do here on this channel. That is going to attract people. The trends do attract people to your page.
Even
You,
not
but
even just
being
the sounds, but
pizza
the
and
sounds. The sounds. Use the sounds, because when people click on that sound, your video pop. So it doesn't necessarily even mean you have to do that same exact trend. You could
yeah,
literally just use that sound for something else, and
use
you
that
can pop
sound.
up as
And you
if
can put it super low. You could put it super low where you don't even hear it in the video that you're doing, but it's a part of that whole sequence too. Because once they press that sound, they go. You see a bunch of videos that's under that sound. You can, but I'm talking about the people who want to do it. I don't want you to feel prohibited. I don't want you to feel unable to go and do it. You want to do that fun video, do it. It's okay if you. Most of your other videos is serious. You want people to know that you're multifaceted. You have other sides to you. So do the fun video. There's another trend. I really am loving that trend. I'm really gonna work on doing my own. Too. There's another trend where it is basically a video introducing you, but it has a narrator voice, right? And then um you have the narrator that says, "Oh, this is Mo. She's a women's empowerment coach. Her page is inspired, blah 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 blah." And then you say, "Hold on, that's not all whatever it is." A lot of people
oh
are
yeah,
talking
yes.
that a great trend to introduce new people to you, because that's the first video they see, especially we're newer, even these people who have 20, 30, 40, 50,000 followers. That's the first video I've seen of them. That trending video, that's a great video to do, to let people know, hey, I'm here, I'm doing these kind of videos. And that you don't have to be anything but yourself, because you're letting people know who you are on the social media tip, and giving a little of your personality on your everyday life. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to do trends. Now, is it necessary to, walk into the wall 5 times and make a viral video because you did that? Please no. Please no. Because why did you do that? What was the point? Because people are watching and they want to know, after the fifth walk into the wall, what's going to happen. That's the only reason why people watch that video, not because they're interested in you from that. So it's okay to do the fun stuff, especially if it feeds into your personal personality. Because some of us, we do social media and we don't show our personality or our private life on purpose, but people still need to see your personality. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be talking about Beyonce, how they don't see her personality, or they don't know anything about her, because she's less about showing her personality. She's here. I have presented my, this is my talent, this is what I do. And she for so long didn't show her personality. So we don't need to have her personal business. That's her business. She's not wrong for that. But now that she
I
shows
definitely
her personality, people are really
without
able to
personal.
be close with her. You know what I'm saying? In their mind, feel an attachment to her. So it's okay to show your personality. What were you saying, Yella?
No, I'm saying you could definitely show your personality without people having to get personal, and I think that is something that you need to figure out definitely in the beginning of your journey. How personal do you want your content to be? I don't want my content to be that personal to that capacity. I am human. I don't need to, at this point, it doesn't benefit, or I don't feel like it's the best choice for me if I'm having a bad day to be online and show that. I don't think it's progressive for me if something is, you know, and it can be small stuff because life, we know that. And I think that's very normal. Don't get it wrong. But for
Mhm.
you to know that a certain bill may be higher than I wanted it to be, or, you know, ABC, I don't know. I know I want people to vibe with me. I want to vibe with people, and I do get personable, but I don't want it personable where I'm talking about Legos, but you want to know if my husband is talking to other women and why I'm not checking his phone. So, and that's what I'm saying. Be cautious when you're first starting because you are creating this space around you. So
Yeah.
once, and you also cannot control what is done internet or in real life. But
Mhm.
especially the internet is a different kind of world. You know, if we're in a room and somebody does something, we're all thinking in our head what happened, but nobody says it, shares it, or tells that person.
Mhm.
That same thing is, you know, equivalent to the internet. That's your post. Everybody saw that moment. But guess what? Not everybody shares their thoughts. And
Mhm.
not everybody has good intentions, whether they are happy with their life, but they're just an evil person and want to make other people feel bad. Some people are unhappy with their life. That means you can't be happy. And so just that really is a big factor. Like how personal, because it's it is already happening on TikTok. Let's just keep it a buck. And this is not personal. This is not rude. I just know it's not for me. But if that works for you, cool. But there are people and it's very personal. I know people how much people light bill is. I
Mhm.
know what people grocery shopping lists look like. I know what their house look like. I know what time they trash come, and
Mhm.
they're just on all day. And if that works for them, cool. But I know that that's not. I know that's not for me. You
Yeah.
know, and so I want to create that boundary now because when as I if it does when it does elevate to whatever it is supposed to be, and I say that in a sense of not downing what I want. I just really don't know what I fully want out of this. I just know I want to have fun and I want to vibe out and I want to make a couple coins. That's
Mhm.
all I know. You know what I mean? But I want to set that standard now because if it's 6 months, a year from now, as I grow, because you know, watch the favorite people you like watching. You'll see their old videos pop up 2, 3 years from now, and if they truly are, they are, like Mo said, it will be very consistent. Like, damn, I watched the video, didn't even know it was 3 years ago because that
Mhm.
person is so consistently who they are. And if they make a switch, it's not such a big switch because it's an elevation. But if you're just switching and flip flopping, then that's an issue. I don't
Mhm.
want people that much in my life. I'm not even in celebrity lives like that. I don't
Mhm.
even
Yeah.
sometimes I'll be like, oh, I didn't know that. But then sometimes I'm like, why are we reposting this? Why did we
Right.
make a whole article about this? This person is a human. And I mean, that's another discussion. I'm not gonna go there. But it's like just be mindful because if you put yourself out there and then everybody followed you because they want to know your business and then you get mad when they ask about your business. Because I'm to the point Facebook. You done shared all your business and now you pregnant, you don't want to tell us who the daddy is. Who the daddy? Who the daddy? Because you don't told us everything else. Now I want to know who the daddy is. All right.
Ooh, father.
So again, you set that tone because you already put us in all the rest of your business. Now you don't want to tell us who the daddy is.
Who
That's
that
where,
child did?
yeah, that's where I have an issue at.
Oh, brother. That's hilarious. Who is that child daddy?
People
And
like,
where that baby? Where that baby at?
right, they put all their business out there and then they really make a post talking about I'm mad at y'all in my business. That's all you
Oh,
be giving us, ma'am, is your business. So that's all
listen.
we want you is your business. So
Right.
again, I'll just be more cautious of how you start and how you present yourself because it will impact you later. And it's online presence is all about reputation. Why do you think people get canceled so easy? Or 10 years later, once they're big, they found an old tweet or Facebook post. So, and people will, when you get to a certain point, people will. You don't even got to be that big. There's probably people watching people now with only 3,000 followers and they got 300 and they going out of their way calling them people jobs and shit, you know? Now, we ain't manifesting those kind of people around us, but they exist, you know? So,
Oh, you gonna call child? Yeah, anyway.
no, I think a lot of people, just like weight loss, it's the same thing. How do I do this quick? How do I? There's
Yes.
nothing's quick, y'all. I don't know. There's no magic pill. It's patience and it's hard work and it's just time. and
Yeah.
you watching your data and your results, and it's like, hey, do I like this? Yes, I'll keep going. Do I like this? Is it working? No, I need to change something or I need to stop.
Yeah.
People make stuff way more complicated than it has to be, and then be grateful for the journey. Again, I wish I was at 1,000 right now, but I'm very much grateful to be at 600. So you just got it's your mindset. Your mindset is a big part of this journey. But yeah, I
Yeah.
tried to hone in on that because I was very the fact that you mentioned that's very important and it's true. People want to put themselves out there, but then you can't. Once you put yourself out, you can't pick and choose when you already allow some people in so much, and then expect the support to be there still. Like,
Yeah. But those ways, and that goes into, oh, come on now. That goes into you actually doing your research. So now we came and we wanted to do this together. And my biggest thing is that, you know, you can figure it out on your own. That's totally fine. You can do trial and error. I mean, that's totally up to you, and that's fine. And for me, since I'm such a huge consumer of YouTube and just social media as a whole, um, as most of us are, I'm not saying that I know more or you don't know as much, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm sure y'all see this, but if you want to apply this to your own social media uh, journey, and it is important for you to take what you're consuming, be able to use your critical thinking and understanding what you're seeing and what's going on, and then apply it to what you're doing. So, again, just like Yella said, I don't really want people knowing my every single detail of my life business, especially if I was attached to a family or something. What I do is what I do. Now if I met somebody, and now, okay, here's a perfect example when it comes to me specifically. I don't feel like I will ever make content about being 40 plus and single, though that's who I am and where I am.
yeah, no,
And
that's a good
why?
point.
Because that becomes, and though it's fine to make those kind of content, because just like how I said earlier, Dimitri Wiley, he makes that content, but he has other things that he does, and he has other things that he really is passionate about. And yes, he wants a wife, and once he gets one, I'm sure he'll be able to funnel that all in and all those things. There's another guy who I came past, and he does Dear Future You or something like that, on TikTok. Not Dear Future Wifey, not the podcast guy, but there's another guy. He's on there, young black guy who good looking, and he makes those videos so all the women swoon to him or whatever. But he's trying to say, I'm looking for the one. I'm not worried about all that stuff. So, but that just how I described him is what I know him for. He's a whole music producer in the whole, like, super, good music from what he said. Works with high end artists and all that, but what people are going to know him for is for that, right? So now if he does anything on the social media tip, it's going to be because people's in his business, because once he get a wife, they're going to want to know every little thing they do together, how he dates her, how he proposes, how, blah, blah, blah. All of that being said, I wouldn't want to start off with having that as a part of my content, because I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. That man's face might be blurred until the day of his funeral. Okay, to was part until the day of his funeral. I don't know if that man gonna be on this internet with me. Okay, okay, I could love him all I want to, but he's mine. Once I find him, he gonna be mine. No, no, but all I'm saying is I'm not. That's not what I'm. That's not why I'm here. And I also don't want you to attach to me because you're also in your late 30s or 40s and you're single too, and you just want to be empowered by another single. No, I want you to be empowered by being you, because you're you, and because you need to get through this world, whether you have a partner, whether you have children, whether you have nothing, and you need to be empowered no matter who you are. So I don't want it just to be conditional on where you are in life or where I am in life. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's why I'm cautious about posting personal. Yeah, exactly. So all of that being said, I think that because you would want to be intentional, right? You've done your work, you have done self development, and if you haven't, you're going to be working on it during these time. We're coming to you every single week. If you got some self development questions, things you want to build yourself up and you feel like when you put up a video, it does affect you in a certain way and it makes you feel down about yourself, it makes you doubt yourself, then you got to build yourself confidence to know that this is not, your views don't make who you are, blah, 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 all of those things. And I know those things end up sounding cliche, but deep down, they really are, foundational principles and understandings you have to have of yourself. You do have to detach yourself in that space. So you're working on that. And then you get to this point where you are like, all right, I do this thing, but this isn't on me. I want people to see my personality. That is where you do go in and you research and you watch the trends and you see the trends that'll help you show your personality, but still be in line with what you believe in, who you are. And like I said, to me, the little video, she was a fairy, is cute. So I would do that too. And I would do the narrator video. I would do other little trendy videos that come along, but it has to not be so far away from
And again, anything that's in alignment with you, it really is that. And it's like, we have a friend. So if for y'all that are looking into getting into brands, we have a friend who has a Discord. And even everything she posted, I didn't even know brands would even be a part of this conversation 5 months in. That was even like an option because I didn't even know. And like I got to work with several brands and PR packages now. And with that being said, just even being mindful because then brands are watching your content all the time too. And how you even regular posts. Like I think a lot of inappropriate stuff is funny. I just send it directly to that person when I want to engage in that, but I don't post it on my main page. And I stopped doing that years ago because of jobs. But also don't even post like. And again, it's actually right. What do you feel comfortable doing? I'm not posting my job. I know there. I grew up around the people that will call people jobs because they just didn't like you. Okay, so you think I'm gonna allow a stranger to have access? You can talk about your job very generally. I do remote crisis work. You will never know what my job is from me saying that. You know what I mean? Because, but if that's your content, because that's how some people do. They're at their fast food job, they're at their work job, they're at their desk job, and if you can afford to do that, that's cool. But just be mindful. Everything we do come with a reaction, and that reaction can either be good or bad, and we can't predict everything. But no, definitely the personal stuff, because again, once you create that space, you can't change the reaction of the masses. So that's where my thought process. Once you allowed us in your business to that capacity for 3 years, yeah, once you had that baby, we want to know who the daddy is. I promise you. You let us know everything else. So you can't. You're going to mess up your stats, your audience, your community if you keep changing the tone of the room, basically. One minute y'all can't know everything. The next minute y'all need to mind y'all business. Then it's just like, well, you're telling us your business. And honestly, too, what crowd do you want? I want my comment section on all my social media content, especially YouTube, to be positive to the best of its ability. There will be critics, feedback, opinions, 1,000%, and that's welcome. But I don't want any content that welcomes the intentional, nasty grittiness of just being like I don't want that around me. And I say that because I watch those celebrity content videos where it's like you don't even know this people. Why are you that mad?
Why are you cussing that lady out? You don't know that lady. Why are you cussing her out so bad? She didn't do anything to you.
Right.
She wore a fashion over outfit, turned around in a circle, and turned her video off. Why are you mad at her?
Exactly. So it's like, what kind of space do you want to be in? And think about that as you are doing your content. And I'm gonna tell y'all, because again, we're talking about all content when we do social media, but our primary focus here is YouTube. And YouTube is a different ball game. They will email you, they will text you, they will send you something to hey, we don't like that. So what you gonna do about it? You finna fix it? You want to delete it? You want to repost it? And I'd say that there are areas they still need to work on 1,000%, because I see shit that's inappropriate all the time still. But I can't say that there is at least effort with YouTube. But some of those other platforms, you may not have that same protection. Some of those platforms are a little bit more freer, a little bit more reckless, with the content, with the comments, with the people. But again, you got to envision that. So these are just things to think about when you're growing, because once you're also to a certain point, you just can't change in a snap of a finger. This is a routine. we have a vibe, whether you knew that vibe was going on or not. So and then so with that being said, if you are also interested in something, I think most of the time, watch the people that you want to watch the people that are creating content on the stuff that you are interested in filming
Yeah,
about.
that you're
Because
inspired by.
me, yeah, I'm going to in the next couple months start talking about creating content about rebranding. Because that's what I've really been doing these past 2 years, literally focusing on physical, mental, everything but financial. My husband, I
I
work,
was
but
I was gonna mention something about that too. When you finish saying what you're saying about
no, yeah.
not
So
brand, but yeah,
no, I fell in love with the rebranding content at the beginning. December, that's all I watched was rebranding content. And I was like, oh my God, I am like, whatever list they made, it was like, it's good information. It can sound corny, but it's what you need to hear once you're in that space to hear it. And I was like, oh my God. So if they made a list of 10, I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing 8 of these things. And the other two is really like a preference thing. It wasn't really even like a overall, like, you should eat healthy. It's more was like, I don't know, they may like do a certain at a certain different time. But I literally been working on that aspect. I'm down about 120 pounds. I got closer with God. I do this, I do that. So being able to prepare to start creating that kind of content, but watching just a whole month of just watching, I'm like, okay, I think I could do that. It's in alignment with me. Because again, my content, I know it says health, travel, and hobbies, because those are the components of what which it is presented in. But that is literally my whole purpose here is to for myself and to for others is to feel your best self, be your best self through experiences and products. If that is a product, because I love skincare, that's a great at home routine that I could do to keep my cup full, or even if I just want to go to actual salon sometimes. So yeah, again, it's just a lot of stuff. As I'm getting further along, I think should be important to be considering at the beginning of your process, and that's why we're having this space here to be like, I didn't even think about that because it took me 5 months to even think about what I'm thinking about now. And I already been doing stuff for 5 months. So I want to give you guys stuff now to think about because if it can help your journey be a little bit easier and more intentional, because again, be careful what you ask for because if you just want to go viral and you just want followers, you're going to get that. And it's going to be also in a way that you may not have thought you wanted it either. You got
yeah,
people calling you ugly and you should die or whatever stuff that they shouldn't be saying to you or anybody. And these are just strangers blatantly on a Tuesday, 11 o'clock morning telling you this. So again, but what are you presenting? I'm not saying you attracted that or deserve that, but the content I'm posting, nobody should ever say anything reckless. Like I posted a bison video of us feeding bison. Why would anybody go on a bison video? There's nothing dramatic or controversial about that. So again, for the people that want to do reaction videos and celebrity updates, just be mindful, or just any world that you're getting into. Look into that world. Look at what comments are under those worlds. Look at not just the likes and the views, because again, that's important. But if I got to stay at 5,000, just get to 5,000 subs, and I just have a solid team and we lit, I'll take that over having a million followers and I have 200,000 people telling me that I need to hurt myself and do all this other stuff. So yeah, it's just a thought. And I work in mental health, so I think about those things. And how many people have you seen blow up too fast and it really messed up their mental health, or you respectfully, you like, oh, these people, they used to be cool, but now they're a little weird.
yeah,
And it's like, okay. And that could be a lot of different things, but a lot of it is, a lot of us aren't naturally prepared to have 200,000 people around the world and on the internet say something grotesquely like ugly to us, and that when us as humans aren't meant to process that.
yeah,
So again, be mindful of how you want to start this and where you're going because you also played a part in it. So that's just my message because I think a lot of people, oh, it's just easy if I do this, if I do the pranks, it's just easy if I. It's not though, and they're also sacrificing a lot more than money doing that. Their morals, their spirituality, when they want to get it together, their reputation, building rebuilding trust because now I got to know that you're not gonna pour milk everywhere and be ignorant.
yeah. Um, when it comes to the rebranding thing, this is also me seeing it is possible from the pretty girl that gets a lot of followers because they're pretty and single by men, to the good looking guy who gets a lot of followers from mostly women because they're good looking and all of that, to them being in a relationship. There's going to be a part, there's a patience in that, where they have to ride out the people who are going to unfollow because, oh, they're not available. Ma'am, he was never available anyway. Not to you. So there's a patience in that, but you can turn from the single such and such person to the family walk if that's what you want to do, or the couple goal, whatever, if that's what you want to do. And then you can also uh come from that to the family, but you don't want to show your kids. So yes, we did see you get with her. Hey, AC family, we did see you.
Oh,
We did see you get with her, right? I'm saying the good looking guy. You saw you get with her, and now we saw you propose to her, and everything was on the internet, and that's fine, and that's cool. And then y'all had a baby, y'all not showing that baby's face. You know what? You don't have to, because that's your child, and that your
and
child deserves that.
all right, Mo, just real quick. Hey, AC family, if you don't know if this is your first time here, because I don't think I know who you are, this is a YouTube Grow Room. This is a safe place. We are trying to help all fully new YouTubers or slowly growing YouTubers or small YouTube creators to come and just gain followers. We're all trying to get monetized. Me and Mo as well. We just figured let's not just do this together. So please sub to us. We will sub back to you. And if you're still here right now, I would love to know what kind of content you post. And as you said, family, and Mo was talking about family content. So we
Right, right.
like, so please share your content and thank you. What do you post? And thank you for being here. And please sub so we can sub back to you. Go ahead, Mel. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is that you do see that you can go from one extreme to the other and make it out. But you do have to know that during the transition, you're going to lose followers because they came there for something that you used to be about, which lets you know that it's okay to evolve. And they're going to leave, and you're going to get other followers in their place and more, that because you've evolved, and it's going to grow. So you have to be patient with your process, and with your growth and with your journey too. But you can actually, right, because we said, oh, we want to know who the dad is now. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
right. But you can actually say, yeah, I did let y'all know who the dad, but he ain't gonna be here. He here. He's here behind the scenes, but y'all know he here, and that's the first and last time you're gonna see him, because that's it. And you can keep going with that. And if you watch enough um, of other social media or influencers who have made those transitions, you'll learn exactly how to handle your community, with love, but also be assertive and say, I'm not talking about that. Are
Yeah.
you in a
No,
relationship? You know
if
I'm
you
talking about
do it,
that.
absolutely. Like if you know you're going to enter a world where it is going to have more, involvement in your life than you desire, yes, do your research. Do those because most right, it it happens again and again, and it's like clear, like
Yeah.
history repeats itself because people are
Even if you didn't know, you started out, you
yeah
were young, and now you're here and you are building up that. If you've built up that platform, and you might even stop and say, I want to do something totally different, you can. And yes, there are going to be people who say, hey, you're back, why you're not showing, why you're not doing the relationship thing. I'm doing this now, and maybe they'll leave, but you'll pick up people to
yeah
to follow you, to have evolved. So it is not too late to do that, and don't feel like you're stuck. That really is the point that I'm making. Though
yes
you might be in something and you're showing things that you no longer want to show, you're not stuck. And there's people who I follow who have millions of subscribers on YouTube, and they have lost 250,000 and gained back by changing the way they do their content, and they're happy for it. It's fine. So it's fine whether you have small numbers or large numbers. You're going to lose the people who are not supposed to be with you, and all in all, you'd be okay with that. But it's okay to change your content to the thing that you truly believe in. Now that's called just evolving. You're not going to be 15 and 17 and 21 forever. The things that you have to show at you have to show us, to present to us at 21. At 31, child, you will never want nobody to know that you had that to present at 21. You're gonna change, and that's okay. And it's
Yeah,
okay
and
to
I think
change
when it comes to
and
that
stand
kind
by
of change, when it comes to that kind of change, absolutely. That change, I think we're all forever evolving if you're actively working on yourself. But yeah, it's just being also mindful of that if you are intentionally wanting to go into this other route, just know what that comes with and know that if you gain these followers for this very temporary niche, that they will not probably be there later. And if you are just starting YouTube, please download YouTube Studios. It usually encourage you to do it anyway, but if you don't, please do, because that's where your analytics are. And like Mo said, like when I first started too, in January, like one person would leave, and I'm like, why do they hate me? And then I'm like, now I'm just like, you know what? Quickly, I nipped that in the butt in January, and I said, hey, I don't want nothing around me that ain't meant to be around me. So if that means I got to lose one follower, 10 subs, whatever, that is okay. Because guess what? That next day, I got 10 subs.
yeah.
So it's really just being, what does those numbers look like for you, and why do they matter so much? I guess, and that's with anything, right? When you're working out, your career, whatever, what is your why? So same thing with social media. What is your why? When you're having those hard moments, when you're not understanding, what is your why? What is motivating you? Again, I want a couple extra dollars. Hopefully it's a lot of couple extra dollars with a couple commas too. But I don't know what that fully looks like yet. But I know how I want it to feel. I know how I want it to, be structured. I know I want to feel peaceful. I know I don't want to feel stressed out. I know I want to have fun. So after I figure out what I want the environment or whatever to look like, then I work around that to create that environment. You know what I mean? But if you're just focused on numbers, 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 or this and this and this, or this person did this, it's what works for this person may not work for you.
Yeah,
But
I think
especially if
it
y'all
does
don't have
have
the
to be
same aesthetic, especially if
first.
y'all don't have the same aesthetic. I
Yeah.
know I'm completely different from a lot of people, and that's okay. And I just want to attract the people that want to be cool with me, and also be mindful of what you put out is a is what you posted, meaning it's what's a representation of yourself. So in a sense, I'm loud. Some people may see my content and be like, I don't want to mess with her because she's just way too loud for my ears, and that is okay. And then some people may be like, oh my God, she does all these amazing things, and I may like three of the four hobbies that she do. So, but again, I want positive, or I want my comments to be positive. Yes, I want to have a lot of views, but those views for me, when I'm on, whether it's posted content, live content, those views for me just means a good time, engagement. We're laughing, we're joking, we're talking, we're learning, we're turning up, we're creating a memory. So when I say I want views and subs, and that's what those numbers mean to me. And then again, hopefully a couple extra dollars come with that. But if you are, and I to the money bag people out there, love y'all down. But if you're a money bag person and you're just, hey, I just need 100K, then hey, make that work for however you want it to work. But I know, again, I'm thinking about how do I want this on a financial level? How do I want this to impact my life on a physical level, a mental level? I want to be able to get paid vacations. I want to be able to be like, we over here in Iceland for a paid collaboration. That's what I want. So again, what do you want out of this? And then create it around that. But if you want that other side, by all means. But I just wanted to point out that, yeah, just be careful how you get stuff, because it really impacts it. Everything comes back later in a sense, right? So, and that's important when it comes to social media, because you don't want all your hard work to go down the drain either. Because imagine the people that had to restart, whether it was intentional, unintentional. A lot of people had to restart, and they're probably not a lot of people made it back to where they were at before they had to restart. So, the people that lose their million follower accounts, and now they only maybe at 100. And then that's not even saying the people that are buying their followers, buying their views, buying. And how do you have a million views but only 6 comments? That's crazy to me. But if
Period.
that's you're okay with that, that's okay. So again, the whole, I guess, this episode is really just, what do you want? How do you want it? And how do you want to feel about it? Because that's what's all going to come from this. It's really going to impact your personal life at the end of the day, whatever the
Yes.
results are from your social media,
Yeah.
good or bad.
Yeah. And it's simple. And you have options. Uh even though you need to be intentional, You have options, and things can always be fixed, but you do have to have that self development. You have to have those boundaries. You have to have that understanding that some your numbers is going down right now is only because it's transitioning to who really need to see. You have to understand that people might be rude, extra rude, people who you remember, because there's one thing about always see what influence the people who always comment on their videos, whether that's YouTube, IG, TikTok, all of them, they know you by name and they look at your profiles and they know your face, and y'all become a little bit like friends, right? So when you start changing your content a little bit, you might even see some of those specific people saying rude and mean things to you, and you have to be able to let that go and and push them along. You know what I'm saying? And still keep doing the thing that you really want to do. It's okay to be able. It's okay to change your mind, but you do have to know what comes with that, and you have to be strong enough to, go with the flow until you could get to your real tribe or your new tribe.
Well, I was thinking, Mo, like a best example I could figure, like, because people are like, oh, I want to go viral, I want to go viral. Like, I just don't understand that. So say you go viral, right? For the people that think like that, and I get it, I get the message behind it, but okay, Mo, you go viral, but then you get invited on the show. Remember Ellen used to invite all the viral people on her show. And then it's like, well, how do you feel about that? It's like, all excited, but you're viral again because you went to Walmart to throw milk on top of your head. Or
Hmm.
the other kid that went viral because, oh, remember the van boy? Dang, Dan, or it was something. But it was just like, it was
Oh,
something so simple. But it's just like, again, people, you want to go viral, then you get invited. So somebody, I invited you to a talk show host and we're like, oh, how do you feel about going viral and what's going to happen next? Like, how do you answer that, especially when you went viral over something so violent or rude or mean? And because again, realistically, the world is going to pay attention, promote, and share violence way more quicker than something that's positive and healthy. So if
yeah,
we're relying on the masses, then we're also putting ourselves in a bad position because they don't want to see the positive most of the time, right? It's kind of been already proven. It's they don't want to a lot of the positive stuff isn't going to be viral, right? So yeah,
yeah.
I
A
don't
lot,
know.
a
How do
lot
you
of you
want
just wanna, a lot of you just want to focus on getting popular in the settings that you are comfortable in, for who you are and what you are. And even then, it comes with pressure. But at least you're being yourself there, and you can build from there. That's what you want to focus on. Be yourself and let it catch. It might be seen. This one video might be seen by a lot more people than you expected. Oh God! And now more people are coming. But guess what? You're not caught with your pants down. You're just caught being yourself. There's people walking by the window and see you. Just being yourself versus you like, "Ooh, um, So just have that in mind. You'll be more prepared if you're being yourself for sure, and that'll even be tough. So just be yourself.
I am going to challenge because again, this is YouTube focused, even though we're talking about all platforms. But because this is YouTube focused and we do want these rooms to grow and gotta head out, dinner ready. Thank you so much, Boo, and happy Mother's Day. Wait, she know you got a daughter, right? She know you got I
Yeah,
think she knows. Yeah, she
she
was
got
on
you.
the other day. Yes. Yes.
Kids.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, happy Mother's Day, Boo. I know this wasn't gonna. I'm shocked we're actually on over an hour. We figured today would be a little bit different just because everybody's hanging out, celebrating, and hopefully all the mamas getting whatever they want. But I am encouraging everybody that's watching this, whether it's here live now with us or you're watching this later, work on your. If you have not done your first one, work on your first one, or if you haven't done one in a while, work on a new one. But focus at some point within the next month or two to do a long form content because just to see what it does, you might be shocked. You really might be shocked. So start thinking about ideas, start thinking about what you're interested in, what do you want to talk about, how long do you want it to be, and long form can still be like 5-10 minutes, y'all. Long form does not mean these hour 2-3 hour Some people could do that. I'm not in that space yet. Even with us going, we're about to go to Miami, Puerto Rico, and St. Martin, and I'm pretty sure that vlog ain't even gonna be an hour. You know what I mean? But yes, I'm challenging everybody to either do your first one or redo another one to the best of your ability. Challenge yourself, and yeah, post something long form on YouTube because if we want to get monetized, we gotta post, y'all. We gotta post. I know we're talking, and yes, we will continue to talk, but we have to post. It doesn't even have to be consistently at this point. You just have to post something. So again, if you haven't posted your first long form, not even short, long form, and again, it can still be 5 minutes. It just has to be horizontal, or it could be vertical in a sense, but it just looks better horizontal for certain videos. But yeah, I'm going to challenge everybody to do that because I want to see it. I want to see how it does. I want to see what you post. It can allow us to give each other feedback. I love, the real girlies will hit you up. I had one girl, I completed something and she hit me up on the side because I'm washing my face and I used a towel. She's like, yeah, girl, get some like throwaway paper wipes because then the germs. I was like, oh, girl, I totally forgot about that. Absolutely right. So, girls are here to support each other, and
Yeah.
that's what we're here for. So I am challenging everybody to make one long form content at minimum of 5 minutes of something that you enjoy, that you want your content to be around. Even if you're just making a video about making that, like, hey guys, this is my first video. I'm excited. Introduce yourself, something. But if we want to grow here, we got to work. So post something, send it to me directly. Mo, shit. I'll watch it. I'll comment. I'll like. I'll support 1,000%.
Yeah.
Especially if you send it to me directly. But this is what we're
Yeah.
here for. You need to start putting in the work because we're gonna talk every week, but ain't no results gonna happen if we're not putting in the work behind the conversation. You know what I mean? And I just want us to win this year, y'all, because we got a little bit over 6 months left, and what you already been doing these last 6 months and what you about to do these next 6 months is the question right now.
Yeah. Um, you guys, thanks again. Thanks for watching. And I'm gonna figure out how to put together a playlist of all the videos from video one, from group YouTube Girl Room 1 to now. Though each live it goes on my one goes on mine, one goes on Yella's. There's a way that we can put together a playlist, and so that if you're coming here after a while, you can see from live one on down. And because the last live we talked about just the small little tips on when you're doing a little bit of editing, and if you're going to do your long form this week, go back to that live. um, by the time this is up, the playlist will be in the description, and you'll be able to go to that live and just get some tips and stuff. So, um, yeah, and where you can send that to, you can send that to the vast community Discord.
Yeah.
Come and join my Discord. It
Yes.
is an empowerment. It's a community of very listen. Everybody ain't coming. They can't come in. If they come in and I see you in trouble, you causing trouble, I'm gonna escort you out myself. I'm security, okay? So,
Yeah.
but it's a positive group of people. We are empowering each other. We use vision building, accountability, self care, and time management to help empower each other and help us live our day to day life. And I want you to be a part of that Discord, a part of that community. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, here on YouTube, Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger, and the vast community on the Discord app. And I want
Yeah.
to see there, and I want to see your video link in the YouTube post folder in that vast community.
Thank you, Mo. No, yes, y'all link up with Mo. Her Discord is very positive. It's motivational. It's healthy. I done seen some ugly discords, so trust me, it's definitely one of the most positive and active ones I have seen. So please join our Discord. And yes, we are doing this every Sunday back and forth. Like Mo said, we will be hopefully within the next couple months as this continue to grow, we'll create a Discord where
Yeah.
everything is right there, all the old videos, a place for y'all to post y'all content, a place to ask questions, a place maybe even me and Mo could post like how-to videos of background stuff to do because I know there's some editing parts that really helped on the back end of my stuff that I can make a video to show you guys the change on the back of your the back end of your stuff so people can change. Also, if you see our tags right here, Yellow Outlaw and Aspire Big, Aspire Bigger, these are our names on most of our platforms, all of our platforms, I believe. So please follow us on those as well. And then what I want to do every episode now to make sure, I think we kind of already been doing it, but we'll probably even do it at the beginning. But yes, anybody watching this recording, write in the comments any questions that you may have for the next video, as well as share what content you are doing. You can even put follow for follow, sub for sub. Just engage in the comments so we can get more people in here. And again, we cannot grow unless we all don't show up. We all need to show up. We all need to support. We all need to post. We all need to just do what we need to do. And we're here to support with that. So, yeah, I'm excited. This is like our fourth one. I think it's going amazing. So, yes, all that stuff will be posted in the description. Again, comment. Um, and yeah, I'm excited. And we should have some more extra special stuff coming for you guys. And next week, we'll let you guys know what the topic is. But other than that, it's really just going to be social media each week. How do we want to handle it? What's going on? Trends, ideas, questions, tips, tricks. So yeah, until next week.
Lady y'all.
Oh wait, oh there we go.